writing with people who each time we would go back and forth, we would write 2,500, 3,000, 3,500 word responses to each other and advance a story that way. And it wasn't until I got to college and I had a really great mentor in the writing program where they said, all right, you have the ability to write this prolific amount of storytelling in one sitting. Why don't you try and write your own stuff? And I wish someone had sat me down early on when I was getting involved in the role-playing community, which is in all sense of the word Sisyphusian, because you're writing someone else's intellectual property. So it can't be something that you sell. It can't be something that you make your own. If someone had sat me down seriously and took me aside and said, you have a real passion for writing, write your own stuff. Try it. Take from what you love about anime and video games and comic books and cartoons and try and make your own story. If I had done that when I was 12 or 13, I would have had my first novel done by the time I was 17 or 18. And if I can leave one bit of advice for the younger people in the audience here, if you can write a novel by the time you leave high school, the publishing community loves that. They love young writers. They love to exalt and put on their shoulders people who can write serious, fiction at a young age. And the older you get, the harder it becomes to get published. And so my sort of advice is start at a young age and encourage anyone you see at a young age who loves to write. It's a great hobby. Keeps you out of trouble. So my second question is, when you were younger, what was the aha moment, the moment where it snapped and you were like, okay, I want to do this for the rest of my life? Let's start with Stuart.
Yeah, well, I guess when I was younger, I've always been a storyteller. And that's simply because my dad told stories to me. I never really thought of it at that time as what I was reaching for, but it's been part of my life throughout because I'm a theater person. I've written plays, I've written a lot of different things, so it's always been there. It's just an integral part of how I am, and where I've been moving towards is just taking all the experience and all the life stories and everything and turning it on its head into speculative fiction. So it's always been there. It's never really been just the main driving force because I've kept myself open to all the other